Now?
Yep,
Yeah,
perfect.
okay, cool. Thumbs up. So today's session is part of the Live on ServiceNow event series. It's designed to help you connect with ServiceNow experts and your peers to help deploy your products and achieve value faster. We hope you'll join us again at another Live on ServiceNow event. You can see the schedule by scanning this QR code or checking the link in the chat, which let me drop this in. Okay. All right, let's keep it going. A little bit of housekeeping. We'll have time for Q&A at the end, but please leverage the Q&A button on your screen to ask questions along the way. We are recording this session. I've placed the recording link in the chat already. I'll put it in again later in the session. At the end of the session, you'll be prompted to fill out a survey. We really appreciate your feedback. We're going to be looking at a little bit of feedback here in a couple of minutes. If you are interested in participating in a roadmap session to discuss and see more about what's coming in Now Assist for ITSM, please include your email address and some information in that survey so that we know to reach back out to you. And we'll be scheduling those sessions in the coming weeks. I believe that's it for now. Our Xanadu release is coming on September 10th, so please make sure to check that out. You'll be able to leverage a lot of the capabilities that new capabilities within Now Assist for ITSM with that release, some of which we'll get into in more depth today. Also, I'll be sharing this slide a little bit later on in the session, but we have a webinar that I'd like to promote that's coming up next week that Brian Lamb, who's on the call today, will be running about how to activate Now Assist for ITSM. So we're going to talk more about the capabilities today. And if you join that session next week, we'll talk about how to do the enablement. So if perhaps you or another person on your team may be interested in joining that one. We've got more events. You can look at some of our past events as well as community articles where you can ask, you can review them to learn about enablement and learn about the Now Assist capabilities for ITSM and also ask questions. And then we've got a handful of courses that are available on Now Learning, and these are continuing to be updated with each release. And so I encourage you to check them out to get certified and get an accreditation. Let's get into the introductions today. I'll kick it off. This is the group of ServiceNow experts who's on the call. My name is Jeff Fox. I'm a product manager in ServiceNow. Within the ITSM team, I've been working with Now Assist for a couple of quarters at this point. I'm real excited to be here. I love presenting, and I'm honored to turn it over to or ask Apeksha to introduce herself. She'll be presenting later on. Apeksha, do you mind to do an intro?
Oh, sure. Thank you, Jeff. Hello, everyone. This is Apeksha Deval. I'm part of the inbound product management team for AI and GenAI for IT service management. Being with ServiceNow for more than 5 years, I'm glad to be speaking about what is coming in Xanadu to all of you. Thank you.
Thanks. We've also got a couple folks supporting the call. Brian, do you mind to do a quick intro?
Hey everyone, my name is Brian. You might have seen me on some of these calls in the past. I work with Jeff and Apeksha in ServiceNow's ITSM GenAI team. Really excited to kind of show you guys what GenAI is all about for ServiceNow. And if you're able to, please tune in next week on Wednesday. I'll be running another session similar to this, but it'll be a lot more focused on turning on and configuring the features that we'll be showing you today.
Thanks, Brian. Gokul will be hopefully joining us a little bit later. He couldn't join at the beginning of today's call. We've also got some other experts on the line that may be able to help with some Q&A. So appreciate the ServiceNow team for joining. Okay, let's get into it here. I'm real excited to get to our demo for today's session. Before we do, I want to take a quick look back. We ran a session on July 22nd, and I'm sharing some of the selected feedback here. Appreciate the helpful comments about what was good. A couple of things that we could improve or include covering things more than just knowledge, which was the focus of the last session. We're going to be doing that today. Apeksha is going to be digging into some of the new capabilities, particularly around change and change summarization and our service resiliency capabilities that are coming. So buckle up for that. Also, there's a mention about the option to speak, and we really do want to make sure that folks are able to ask their questions. So as we get through today's session, please do raise your hand if you want to speak. And toward the end of the call, we'll ask people, we'll enable folks to come off mute if there's any interest in doing that to ask their own questions. So we really want to engage the audience here and hear what you have to say and try to understand your questions, because sometimes the chat is too challenging. And then there was another comment around getting more information on Service Operations Workspace. We're going to dig into that more today as well through some of what Apex is showing. So in terms of what we'll cover today, we've done our introduction. I'm going to do a quick overview, and then we'll turn it over to Apeksha to talk in more depth around some of the new capabilities that are coming out in Xanadu. And then we'll finish it up with a Q&A. So I'm going to try to get through this in just a couple of minutes, and then we'll turn it over to give the max time to the demo. If you're not already familiar with Now Assist for ITSM, I think it's important to understand that, the objective of this generative AI technology that ServiceNow is delivering is to increase productivity while maintaining an exceptional user experience. Because this is really mission critical for leaders today. As we talk to customers, nearly all of them talk about this in one form or another. And it's easy to understand when you look at some of the challenges and hear what different customers have to say. There's limitation around the content that is around for requesters, so that they can self-serve and ideally not create an incident to tax the IT organization. So either they can't find content or they can't find the answers they need from it. That's an issue that we're trying to address with Now Assist for ITSM. When incidents are created, it also becomes difficult it is difficult and time consuming for an agent to always get up to speed to understand what the customer's issue is and to understand what they've tried in the past. Either if there's a chat that's included, then sometimes that takes a lot of time to get through, or they have to go through and do a lot of discovery and some research, which may be difficult because content's in various very different locations. And then if these incidents need to be escalated, then sharing more background on it so that the tier 2 or beyond agent can get up to speed quickly is difficult. And once that, it's not always natural for content to be generated, either to talk about the handoff or the resolution. And as a result of that, oftentimes knowledge articles aren't really generated or aren't as complete and thorough and engaging as they could be with the right information. And these are all reasons that we've generated Now Assist for ITSM. I'm going to skip through a slide or two and try to get to the real value that we're looking to drive through this technology. We're really trying to enable requesters to self-serve through more engaging content that satisfies their needs. We want to help reduce the mean time to resolve cases and drive fulfiller productivity. We're looking to improve the overall quality of service through better content that's generated through the system and more trust that's available for agents to rely on the content that's actually generated, that it's useful. All of this is intended to drive a much better experience across the organization for both the requester, the fulfiller, and the owner or the admin. And then we also want to decrease the overall total cost of ownership through the ease of feature deployment and maintenance. So I'm going to quickly address some of the highlight areas that Now Assist for ITSM touches. In terms of requester self-service, this capability is really invaluable. The more engaging the content that's available, the more likely requesters will be to get the answers that they're seeking to complete their work without generating an incident. And this, if we can achieve that, it results in a better experience for the requester and overall better results for the business. And the kicker is that Now Assist is able to be deployed in minutes. So it's real value for an organization. From an agent productivity perspective, driving the agent experience, an improved agent experience is really paramount. Reducing the mean time to resolve cases, improving the service quality, delivering an excellent experience, and lowering the total cost of ownership. These things are all possible with Now Assist for ITSM. Your system's content will inform the agent while the resolution notes and knowledge articles are generated and more is generated using Now Assist. So this summarized content leads to fewer missteps and leads to an overall better experience. Again, easy to configure, so high value. And then new with the Xanadu release here in Q3, customers have been successfully deploying our AI to assist agents for several years. And this capability around service resilience allows them to use any internal and external data as desired to help draw a better, more accurate conclusion and recommendations for agents and approvers. So Analysis combines this ability to draw from both these types of data to data sets while giving admins the ability to choose which data sets and how much are referenced. So there's a lot of flexibility to tailor the capability to your specific use case and minimize risk. So I'm gonna skip again to get toward the end here. Within ServiceNow, we've seen generative AI has potential to improve workflows across the entire business and specifically within ITSM. So as we look across all the capabilities within ITSM, we're really trying to find the highest value locations where generative AI can achieve some of the results that we've talked about in terms of better experience and greater productivity and lowering a total cost. So with that, I'd like to take a quick pause and see if I see there's a couple questions here. Brian, is there anything we to address before we move on in the presentation?
There's one about change, Jeff. Gokul is interested in how we're leveraging Now Assist for change. So maybe you or Apeksha can just touch on that really quickly before we move on.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Go ahead, Apeksha.
Gokul, right timing. We are entering into the change management GenAI world with our Q3 release. I will quickly demo how the change summarization would work. And if time permits, I can walk you through what we are planning to do with change intelligence in upcoming releases. So change management would be our first step in service resilience portfolio. And I would walk you through the demo in a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Apeksha.
Awesome, thank you. Another question from Ian around data cleanliness. He says, data cleanliness significantly improves the efficiency of prompts and costs processing the prompts. Are there plans to help identify or flag records within data sources, like the case table, to mark that data element as something to include or not when processing a prompt?
Seen something like this on the roadmap. Apeksha, is this something you can speak to, or?
Yes, so there are multiple, I'll say, initiatives that are taking in that direction, where we would like to come up with a tool which will help you to understand the quality of your data. And with our August release, we're also marking the introduction of our product called Skill Kit, where you can create, as a customer, you can create your own skills. You can create your own use cases using our LLM or any other LLM which you would like to use. So we are working in that direction, Ian, and I think you'll get more information as you will attend more launch and learn sessions.
Yeah. And I see this question too around the size of the virtual agent. I would encourage you, Ian, to when you close the session here, leave us your email address so you can join a roadmap session. We definitely have a capability that is on the roadmap for a coming release within the next release or two that is more of a ChatGPT-like experience. It's not specifically configuring the size of virtual agent, but it is more of a full page experience. So we're real excited about it. And if you join one of these sessions, you'll be able to take a look at it. Okay, I see there's a little bit more, but let's go ahead and move on here. Without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Apeksha to get into our deep dive on service resilience. Over to you, Apeksha.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So service resilience, great. Can we go to the next slide so that I can go into deep about what this word means for ServiceNow? For service resilience, if you go to any search and search for the definition of service resilience is basically making sure that your service are up and running all the time when it is required. So when we do this, we are looking into a larger portfolio, not just the change management. We are starting with change management, which is a developer persona, change manager persona, but we would then enter into different personas, which is operator, major incident manager, problem manager. So a quick snapshot of the portfolio or the width and the depth of the use cases and capabilities we are looking forward in service resilience. So from the point of view of developer persona, we are looking into how we can help the developer or the requester who is creating the change request to create that with correct information and complete information. Once we do that, we are then venturing into change management, where we help change managers and approvers to review the change, understand the risk and impact of that change, take the informed decision, and then go forward. Jeff, you can click. Yep, thank you. So going ahead, even helping with the avoiding scheduling conflict, suggesting, hey, looks like this incident could be a cause of this change. So all these things, automating the information will help our customers for the service resilience. Once we get good foothold into this, we would like to venture into post-incident review. We heard that many customers, when major incident happens, take around 4 to 5 days to collate all the information and create that huge post-incident review, which is we call PIR. We would definitely love to reduce that time with the power of generative AI, which is an analysis product, and help to create PIR report quickly. And definitely a PIR report cannot be done without the RCA, which is, again, I said, is a very time consuming, it's a very broader information which anyone needs to get into. So with the power of LLM, with the power of knowledge graph, we would like to bring all these things like on the hand of these managements. Okay, so this is something which we would like to do. But what you're going to get with the Zenado release, which is in 10th September, is the next slide. Jeff, would you love to? Yeah. So here comes to our first question before I go into the demo. We would like to understand what your IT service agents are using currently as an interface for the ServiceNow. Are they using US 16? Are they using Service Operations Workspace? A mix of both, or you're still using Agent Workspace, which is already had the end of life done. So, Jeff, can we launch the poll, please? Okay.
Sorry, is the poll out now? Can you see?
Yep. I can see the poll. I can see the responses also coming in.
Great.
Lovely. I see good active participants. We can give a couple of more seconds.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, looks like we are at the more than 60% threshold. We can end the poll and show the results. Awesome. So I'm glad to say the adoption of Service Operations Workspace. I know UI 16 has been always the favorite interface and it's been there since long time. But love to see that Service Operation Workspace is taking traction and also you're seeing the benefit out of it. Makes understandable that you might be venturing into the journey for Service Operations Workspace. I would like to talk to the people who are still on the Agent Workspace. If you can write into the chat, that are you planning to move to Service Operations Workspace soon? Or what is your reason that you're still on the Agent Workspace and haven't moved to Service Operations Workspace? You can take your time to write that information into the chat. And let me take you to the demo part now. Okay.
Apeksha, did you want to take over or should we?
Yes, I would take over. Okay. So with the Q3 release on the Xanadu family release, we are venturing into the change management now assist portfolio, which is the GenAI portfolio for change management with the change summarization. So what this change summarization would help is, it will help the change approvers to understand a quick snapshot of the change, and then they should be able to take the informed decision whether to approve it, not approve it, if there is any conflict and all. The change summarization is available in both UI 16 as well as in Workspace. I'll give you a quick demo and also tell you what all information you would see in the change summary. So in the service operations workspace, which currently you're seeing on your screen, this is a typical change, a modern change screen. And I, as a change manager or change approver, can come here and click on the summarize to understand what all happening in this change. Now you would see that for the change, we have went quite ahead compared to our native, which is incident summarization. Because we do understand that for change, the crux of the information does not just lie into the change table as such, but it does lies into the periphery tables like change policies, CIN services, risk assessment, and all that. So that's the reason you would see different sections, or which we call headers, giving you the information regarding this. So for any of these states, the top four would be, the top three is something which is mandatory because it's in the review and close state. That's the reason you're seeing close notes. If it would have been into a scheduled or authorized, you will not see close notes, you will see other informations. Similarly, on the UI 16 as well, you would able to see the change summary right onto the change form itself. Let me walk you through all the configuration which is available today with the change request. So for the change request, if you have a different table or a custom field which you would like to add as an input to the prompt, you can go ahead and copy our out-of-the-box skill, which I'm not sure if you are doing already, but that feature is already there with incident summarization as well. And see, I have been playing around on this, so you can see how many I have already copied. So you can copy the one which is already active. So let me quickly show that how you can do. You can copy the skill. It will open up a totally plain copied skill for you so that you can play it around. And you can include custom tables, you can include custom field, which you have done for your. So let me see. Now, August 21. Save and continue. Feel free to put your questions on the Q&A as I go ahead with the demo. I would love to answer any of the questions if you have post this demo. Now in the input, we do support 4 types of prompts based on the state. So we have grouped authorize and schedule into one, implement and review into one type, assess is one definitely, and closed. We do not support any summarization at the new state because we understand there's no value generated out there. So for a assess, for example, if you want to add a new field, you should be able to do this by typing here. It will pull all the fields which is there on the change records. If you would like to add any of the related table, which is one dot walk away from the change base table, you would be able to create it or add it here. And if you would like to add all those fields from that, you should be able to do it here. Once you are done with this, you can click on save and go to the customized prompt. For the prompt, we have out of the box providing multiple sections which you can select and deselect. As I said, objective and plan is the mandatory field. You cannot deselect it for any of the prompts, but all others you can happily deselect it. Like, for example, we have seen a couple of customers not using risk. So you can deselect risk from here, for example. Now, next, you can define the availability, that for whom and when you would like to make this skill available. All the time, or for example, whenever this field is, like, for example, for the change is active, if the change is of certain type, it all depends on you. What is your business requirement? Once you're done with this, you can define where you would like to see the summarization in product, which I have been demoing, or in analysis panel. And you can also define that for whom you would like to show. For example, ITIL is the by default one. You can also add admin, for example. Similarly, for this also, you can add admin or any custom roles which you have created by yourself. Great. We are good to go and activate it. So once it gets activated, based on your configuration, the change summary will start showing up. Okay, that's it from the change request demo. And I will go through the Q&A now.
Thanks, Apeksha. There were a couple of questions here. We've been trying to answer them as well as we can, but one came up from Mark. How can we set up a way to track the UI our end users are using so we can encourage legacy users to migrate to a service operations workspace?
Yeah, that's a great question, I would say. And in this case, I think instead of tracking the UI, I would suggest that you get in touch with those end users and understand that what's the reason they are still on the UI. What are the feedback they are getting from the service operations workspace, which is pulling them back to the UI. Because service operations workspace has so many benefits over UI 16. But what are the reasons why your end users or agents are still working on UI 16? Is it like because they are so well versed with the UI 16, habitual of where to click, where to go, or is it just risk averse or the change management issue for the service operations workspace, Mark?
Thanks, Apeksha. Okay, and then another question from Russell. Can it also summarize the affected knowledge articles as well?
That's a great question, Russell. That is something which we are targeting in upcoming releases.
All right, thanks. Okay, and then the last one, again from Ian, what costs are involved for these types of transactions? I know there may be two levels, assist credits, and if you use an LLM API, additional from the LLM service. Follow-up, how many credits do you get to start? How is your credit bank balance managed? Some
Okay,
questions sure really for the accounting, but curious to your input.
yeah. I think we have Gokul or Jeff here to answer that question better. It's more of a sales or a account management question. Would you like to take that up? Or I can start and then we can. So, yeah, Ian, change summarization is again, it's a part of our standard offering for Pro Plus SKU. So it also has similar type of metering how we have for incident summarization. So we do have assist meter for every call which we do to LLM. Now, how many calls, how many you get, I think what Jeff and Gokul can help you with.
Yeah, and those are account team questions. I think it depends on your licensing in terms of the quantity of licenses.
Yeah.
So recommend engaging your account team on that one. Okay.
Okay, so Russell, I think your question was regarding the summarization of affected knowledge article. I said that we are looking into it and we're planning to include that in upcoming releases. As of now, we are only including affected CI and impacted services in our change summary.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. That brings me to the second poll, Jeff. You can share the screen.
There we go.
Yep, thank you. Welcome to the demo of change summarization, which is
All right. So for change request, which persona is your organization in your organization will get the most benefit from Now Assist capabilities? Please do take a moment and let us know. Glad to see a bunch of responses coming in. Really appreciate the input here. This will be helpful for us to address these particular personas.
okay. I think we can end the poll. Okay,
Here we go.
awesome. I'm glad to see the direction which we are taking is also resonating with our audiences. The change manager, change approver is something which we are targeting first with our change summarization. But having said that, we have not forgotten the change creator persona as well. So that is something which is in queue. But the I would love to understand from the people who has said change implementer as well. If you can come off mute and share the use cases which you are thinking from the change implementer, that would be super helpful or something to discuss before I jump into another topic. So I invite you to come off mute and share your thoughts.
Not seeing any hands raised at the moment. If you could try to click on raise hand within your Zoom interface, we'll be happy to take you off mute. Or
Okay. I don't
please
want
write
to
in.
put you on spot, so let me also invite people who have uh, also entered the vote for CAB. So anyone who would like to come and speak their use cases, which will be helpful for their organization for CAB and as well as change implementer, that would be awesome. Come on. So who is the first one? The icebreaker. I could have offered a chocolate if we would have done this in person. But on webinar, I can't do that.
Oh, looks like we got one.
Awesome.
All right, Trent. Let's oh, we got two. Okay, so Trent was up first. Okay. Hey, Trent.
Hey,
Hey,
Trent.
folks. I didn't vote for change implementer, but we do have a situation in our organization where change implementers constantly provide lack of detail or not enough detail that we would like to see, and so we're having to go through burn cab time to say, oh, we need more detail in the implementation plan, or we need more detail in the backup plan. So that kind of thing for Now Assist to sort of help with that would be amazing.
Sure, Trent. That's totally resonate with our thought process as well. And yeah, thank you. Thank you for your input and strengthening our assumptions as well. Thank you.
Appreciate
Just
I'll
it.
watch
expect
out
my
for
chocolate in the
upcoming
mail.
releases. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, Alonzo,
Okay,
you're up
the next
next.
one. Yeah.
All right, Alonzo.
Hey, good day, everyone. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Linza.
Awesome. Yeah, so I did not choose the implementer as well, but similar to Trent, I think for us and both the cab and as change approvers, the feedback we get often is, a lot of times in cab, we're having to do things that should have been done before cab, but also for the change approvers, if they're going in and looking at the changes that are on the docket for the day, right? If it's not something that is today visible in the description or in some of those fields where they don't feel the need to poke around, that poking around takes a ton of time for them. They have to open up every change record, flip through the related lists in some cases, really dig into some of those details. So if that was something where they could literally go through, all those items on the docket and have that summary there, I can totally see that, changing their life dramatically.
You're spot on. And thank you for the input, Alonso. Yep.
All right, and one more from Ryan. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Rand, nice photo.
Oh, thanks. So just a question on CAB. I joined late, so apologies if you covered it, but I just saw that it showed things on the change form.
Yes.
Does it show anything on the cab workbench
Sorry, can you
as far
repeat
as
the
summary?
question? So as of now, it will be showing on the change forms, but we are looking into the use cases for CAP. So that's the reason I had that into one of the options. But I would love to understand, Rand, more from you that what kind of requirements or the pain points currently your CAB have, where you can see now Sys can come handy as a help.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I just was curious if anything would be showing, like just maybe a one sentence blurb, or I don't even know. Just was curious.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah,
Cool.
but rest assured that we are looking into CAP. It's not something we totally ignored it, but yeah, we still need to figure it out what should be the best approach to go forward. And so we are in a discovery phase there. Yeah.
Thanks.
So any inputs from any of you, not just Ran or Trent or Alonso, any inputs will be totally appreciated. Okay, we have more people. Nice.
Oh my, okay. So Mithaline, thank you. You're on. Mithaline?
Oh, hi team. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Matthew, go ahead.
Yeah, that's good. I don't have any position working in the change management process, but I work as a coordinator to oversee the overall operation of the team. I think
Sure.
it's good to have that kind of option in order for us to be able to see the summary in just one click or in just one view, because normally the dashboard or the setup that we have right now is that I have to click on a different tabs, and sometimes it's hard to coordinate with our consultant if you need to check other fields or tabs in ServiceNow. So it's good if everything is summarized in one place. So yeah, I think that would be very helpful. Thank you.
Glad, Madeline. Yeah, thank you for the feedback. I just have one follow-up question there. When you said all summarized, could you help me understand what kind of tables or workflow you see in your dashboard? Is it incident problem change, or is it just list of changes, lists of incidents? Like what all you would
Uh,
like me
we we basically, I mean, for me, as in my work, I basically handle incident management, problem, and change management. So I see the overall operation of the team. So I have to manage them um by multitasking at the same time. So definitely we know if there's a change, it needs to be scheduled, it needs to be approved, it
Yes.
needs to be coordinated, right? So as much as possible, we cannot what I'm trying to say is that we know for a fact that there's emergency change that we can't avoid, right? So it's good that we had an immediate information that we can endorse, so we could find a consultant that can take action or perform that changes. So with the incident management, I think I was thinking if there's a way also to have that kind of functionality to summarize it, because if you open an incident, we know that there's a different comments, right? The comments, the work notes, something like that.
Mhm.
So if it's summarized to a much like small view, that would be
Yeah.
best for us
So
to review, because I have to review as well the SLAs
yes,
for
yes.
them.
So
Yeah.
Madeline, the good news is we do already have that summarization on the incident table. So if you go to our
Oh,
existing product, we already have summarization for incident. In fact, we started summarization journey with incident management itself. So I
oh,
will,
okay.
yeah. So I will request you to just check it out, our existing offerings. But yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
sure,
Thank you
sure.
for your
Yep.
inputs.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, we are running out of the time, but I can take the last question.
All right, let's do the last one here. Arshaya? Arshaya? You should be audible. Maybe we don't have Arshaya then.
Yeah, I think Asha, you seems unmuted. Would you like to go ahead?
All right.
All
Hey,
right.
actually, we are running short on time here, so I'm thinking we should proceed.
Sure. So within Now Assist, we have seen multiple use cases and benefits. Now I would like to take you to one step ahead and show how Now Assist offering can also help you to improve your existing AI ML capability, which is the similarity and classification. So let me quickly share the screen of the service operations workspace and walk you through that. So whenever we talk about a native AI ML capability, which is the task intelligence, classification, and similarity. Yeah, you heard that right. With the Q3 release, we are starting supporting this similarity capability in task intelligence. Our task intelligence product for ITSM was released just exactly 1 year before with the categorization capability. And it was a great hit among our customers because it provides a handhold capability of training, assessing, fine-tuning, monitoring your model, which basically categorizes the incident forms. But we have heard this requirement loud and clear that they would like to also have the support for similarity right here in task intelligence so that they can benefit out of this handholding. So with the launch of our Q3 store, which is 10th of September, now customers would be able to create similarity solutions, which is similar incidents for incident, right here. And how they would be able to see this? They would be able to see this on service operations workspace through the recommended actions on the side panel. And let me quickly show you that instead of just talking. So just that you understand the complete SKU paradigm. A Now Assist offering, which I was talking about, change intelligence. Now Assist is a part of Now Assist Pro Plus, whereas in task intelligence, which is a native AI ML capability, is a part of Pro. So the customers who are already entitled for Pro would be able to use this quickly.
Thanks, Apeksha. I see you went on mute for a moment. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just okay. Let me open a quick incident for you to show how it comes. Until the time it's opening up and as we are running out of time, the next thing which I would like to quickly demo is bringing the AI search, which is the part of our standard offering right here on the service operations workspace within the recommendation panels. The benefit your agents is going to get is right here in the single panel, you will get contextual and real-time recommendations. So in this case, for example, it is not configured or it is not applicable. Agents can go themselves and search based on the AI search. As you all know, AI search is far better than our existing search capability, which is there in the Agent Assist. With the AI search here, agents will be able to search different kinds of artifacts, which could be incident problem change for an incident. And not just that, they are also bringing the genius results capability powered by Now Assist, which is again LLM Pro Plus, right here on the recommended actions panel. So if you're searching for a KB article, and if your Now Assist genius result is activated, which we do out of the box already for you. But if you have done any configuration and would like to activate yourself, then you would be able to see the genius results right here on the search tab of the service operations workspace. Okay, that's it from my side for the demo. And I know I've literally rushed through the last 10 minutes, but let me know if you'd like to know more about it.
Paksha, there were a few questions. One from Angel is around the availability of all the features that were just shown
Yes.
are available in Xanadu, correct?
Yes, perfect.
Which
Yes.
releases on September 10th
Yes.
and requires the analysis for ITSM plugin version 6, I believe, or 6.0.3,
Yes.
whatever the latest is at that point. There we
Yeah.
go. Okay, another question from Russell. And folks, I think we're toward the end of the session here. So if you have more questions, please, let us know or raise your hand again. How can Now assist with a creation and transition via demand management to project or change management?
Sure. I can touch on base upon change management, definitely, because that is in purview of this scope. So as I said, Russell, already, we are going to venture into that persona and that features in upcoming releases, where we can assist you in writing the change better. As you and other folks have already said correctly, that writing those justification plans, test plan, and all those is very important for any change to get success. We would come up with those suggestions as well in upcoming releases. For demand management and project management, we do have SPM product as well, and they also have their Now Assist capability. So I would suggest you to get in touch with those folks, or Jeff, you can drive that connection.
Of course.
Okay, next, yeah.
Sorry, do we want to roll our final poll or should we we have one more poll question, right?
Yeah, I'll just quickly answer the next two questions as well.
All right.
Now Assist is available with a separate SKU, which is called ITSM Pro Plus. So our customers needs to be on Pro or Pro Plus, Pro or Enterprise to go there. So it's not a part of standard. Russell, thank you so much for nominating yourself. I and Jeff will be getting in touch with you to get the real world scenarios from you. Would love to see that partnership. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, Russell, if you could share your details in the survey or with the panelists on the chat, that would be great. Oh, and real quick, we do have, I will share one more time the location where our session will be posted. And then we'll dig into our, is it okay to launch the last poll now, Apeksha?
Yes, go ahead.
All right, here is one last poll question, and I will also share my screen back. So please rank the capabilities within task intelligence that you would like to see within ITSM. So this is a 3-question survey, so you'll need to scroll down. It's all the same options, just indicate what is your number 1 capability, and scroll down to the second question for the number 2 capability, and et cetera. All right, thanks. I'm seeing people start to respond, and let me share my screen. All right. Okay, there we go. So we've got a good portion of folks participating in this last poll. Let's give it another moment. Okay. All right, we are really close to 50% here. Apeksha, you think we should end this poll?
Sure, good.
All right, so here we go.
Okay. Awesome. So this poll really gives us a good idea about the next direction we would like to take into the task intelligence. And honestly, it's very, very, I think, scattered answers. But yeah, thank you so much. And I see most of the customers would love to go deeper into the similarity and categorization capability, not just incident. So, yep, thank you. Thank you for your inputs.
You bet.
I'll
Yeah,
stop
thanks.
sharing. Yeah.
right. So we've got, about 7 minutes left here, folks. I'm just going to go through a couple more slides and then we'll hang out and do Q&A for the balance of the time. Whoops. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing this and I'm done with the polls. Okay, so we have a handful of helpful resources here. There's several articles that are posted in the community. Also, for the newer content that was highlighted today, the change summarization product docs, task intelligence, and AI search and recommended action docs are referenced here. So when you get this deck, you'll be able to participate and reference that material. Again, if you go in and search for this material in ServiceNow's product docs, you'll get it as well. Let's see what else. Again, I want to remind folks that when you close out of today's session, you'll get presented with a survey. If you'll include your email address and indicate you want to know more about the analysis for ITSM roadmap, we'll include you in a future session where we will dig into more of that forward-looking content. So please remember to do that and share your candid feedback with us. We really want to make sure that these sessions are useful to you. And I should also mention at this point, I know our session for next go around next month will be in more detail around some of the other new capabilities that are being that are available within Xanadu, and we'll have another expert on the line to help speak to that. So, in the meantime, we'd like to see everybody get enabled. We've got a link to the August 28th session that Brian's going to be running. That'll get more into the details on enablement, on some of the newer capabilities. We've also got other sessions. I went through this earlier in the session. And that's all that we had for today. So let's dig into other Q&A. We've got one in the chat, and or I guess that's a comment. If anybody else wants to raise their hand and come off and have some discussion with us. I think, Methaline, your hand is still up. So did you have another question?
Hello, hi guys again. All right. Yeah, my first question is that in the incident management, if you send a comment in an incident, can you still delete it or can you edit it?
A comment that's placed in an incident?
Yes. Can you still edit that one? For example, I typed in something, I commented, and is there a way for me to delete the comment that I sent, regardless if it's in public or in work notes? Do we have an option to do that? And my second question is there a way to translate the notes in English? Because most of our customers, I mean companies that we're catering, is Scandinavian. So our consultant needs to translate it in English. So I would like to know if ServiceNow has the capability to translate it into English. Yeah, I think that would be my questions. Thank you.
Appreciate that, Methaline.
So Madeline, we have multiple solutions already. So there's something called dynamic translation, which is part of our Pro offering. If I'm not wrong, and Google can keep me honest here, which you can use to solve this problem which you are mentioning. So just check out our dynamic translation product, and that should be it.
Yeah, in addition to that, Apeksha, on the translation front, we are looking at the Now LLM being able to translate into serve as a translation capability. That's still, I'm not exactly sure where we're at with releasing that. I know we have a handful of languages that we're
Yes.
targeting for the November release. So that's still to come in this year. So can't comment on the details of it. And then more languages are targeted for, over the course of the next year.
Yes.
In terms of Scandinavian, I'm not real sure. So dynamic translation is probably the best solution to look at for something immediate on that front. And then there was the other question about modifying or deleting a comment that's put on an incident. I'm not sure that that's possible.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that. I've tried it myself.
Yeah, I was going to
Usually
say it's
once
not an
it's
option
there,
I,
it's
I've
kind of
seen.
there and forever a piece of history of that incident record.
That's right. That's right. Thanks, Brian. Okay. Any other comments or questions, folks? It looks like the questions are slowing down. We've got about another minute here. So if you have any other questions, please raise your hand or put them in the Q&A. Thank you so much for joining us, Apeksha. Really appreciate you lending your expertise and being available for today's session. This was wonderful. Folks, we'll get it posted. I've put the link to where the recording will be posted in the chat. So you'll be able to see that. We'll get this deck posted as well. And I believe there's some recordings to the demos. Apeksha, we'll have to double check. I think we can share that, but want to make sure. So that material will be posted, whatever we can make available to customers along with the recording. Let's see, are there any other chats? Okay. Oh, I see another question's come in. Got another minute here. What's the recommendation of multiple teams work on the incidents table, legal, service desk, et cetera? How to separate them? Apeksha, is that something you can perhaps comment on or Gokul?
I would like to more understand the question before giving the answer just out of the blue. Like,
Right.
what Fabian would love to achieve by segregating what kind of issues they're currently facing. So Fabian, I think it would be better if we connect offline and then discuss on the specific issues which you are facing.
Okay. Fabian, if you want to share some more info, we'll try to
Yes.
connect with you offline, but we are at time here,
Yeah.
folks. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it for now. Really appreciate everybody's participation in the session, and we'll catch you on the next one, hopefully next week. Thanks so much. Bye for now.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.